Okay. Maintaining emotional distance along priority lines is an essential but extremely difficult aspect of forming efficient internal personal relationship. Of course, there are always these careless puppy dog types who leap into your arms wagging their tail right from the start. Well, just thinking about how beautiful you are. Doesn't know we're messing. Alright, Almond, close your eyes. Her chest swelling with some ridiculous expectation. Almond closes her eyes, thrust out her lips as instructed. Moving quickly and silent, I make my getaway, leaving the girl to her foolishness. I'm out of here! I see Machina may have the right idea, leaving out later or goodbye entirely and silently running away certainly is less troublesome. Don't take it the wrong way, Amin. It's not that I hate you, I'm just trying to avoid being hated by you. Okay, where are we now? Read books in a well-lit area. That was the teachings of my master. At the time, I was accustomed to reading while shut up in a closet or dark room, so those words felt a bit refreshing. Of course, it's not like I'm worried about obeying the teachings of a woman who's already dead, and I'm still not good with direct sunlight, but here I am searching for a bright place with a book in hand. Anyway, aren't I adorable? What the fuck? No reason to wander around for a sunny place in this shitty heat. Stepping away from the air-conditioned school building, I unfold the school's admission guide pamphlet. On the coated 3-folded brochure, there's a bird-eye view illustration of the campus with a mark to the south of the schoolhouse, a noted planned site of library construction. Planned site? Mean there isn't a library yet, I guess? Although there's something library-esque on the second floor of the school building, the collection only holds around 2,200 books. Why was I about to say 2,000? I don't know. You can apply to have a book stocked in your after one in particular, and apparently a book mobile replaces the existing collection every once in a while. But it doesn't seem like it's being used that heavily. In other words, there's no reason to go out of my way to borrow the key to use it. Brought my own book, and there are plenty of well-lit areas besides the library. While casually looking over the pamphlet, I find the words Rose Garden. This is definitely our principal's doing. So I can easily imagine a certain woman who doesn't know how to act her age deluding herself. Pretty flowers might calm your mind, but they won't fill your belly. If you got a room to grow them, it would be better used for an edible plant. God damn it. Did I set this as busy? I did. Why the fuck is this offline? There. Hopefully that works. Edible plant. By telling her that it would be probable just make things unpleasant. I'll just have to remember to greet Principal Tachibana with a good day, Oni-sama, the next time I see her. Rose Garden, hey? I don't have any interest in edible flowers, but I guess there should be a shade tree or two as well. Imagining myself reading under a tree surrounded by blooming roses brings a smirk to my face. Guided by the silly thought, I decided to head towards the rose garden for the first and only time. They call it a rose garden, but not a single one is in bloom. Based on the map, this is definitely the spot, and there's even a white arch that seems appropriate, but from what I can see, there aren't any roses in flower. Maybe the garden's still a work in progress, or perhaps they're cutting the buds during the summer. Well, not like I came to see the roses in the first place, so whatever. And we encounter a sleepy Machina, and she's sleeping on a cat. That was a surprise. Wasn't expecting anyone else to be here. No, more importantly, what the heck is she doing? I approach silently and touch Machina's neck in the area of her carotid artery. She's got a pulse. On close inspection, she's breathing quietly, so I guess the wicked stepmother, Amen in this case, didn't feed her a poison apple. What is this, Cinderella? No, not Cinderella. No, not that. What is that story? Snow White. Speaking of which, I seen the Snow White with red hair anime. It's amazing. That show was beautiful as heck. Props to you. Props to you, the creators of that show. I absolutely loved it. Sleeping. Wait, the thing is a cat, I think? A large cat is serving as the soundly sleeping Machina's pillow. I'd taken it for a stuffed animal at first glance. Sure looks like a fluffy toy, but when I draw closer, the stubby ears buried in its fur twitch like miniature radar antennas. My next question, why sleep out here, soon resolves itself. I see. It's definitely nice and cool here. Cats are knowledgeable about cool places, so they used to say. As for Machina, I expect she was wandering around by herself as per usual, then grew exhausted and collapsed into a sudden sleep on the spot. I watched a partially gnawed apple on Machina's chest and rise and fall with her breathing. She fell asleep in the middle of eating, just like a baby. You notice that Machina's mouth is half open and dripping transparent drool. Not to mention her hair is a scruffy mess. The ribbon on her uniform is crooked, and she's wearing different socks on her left and right leg. What's with this girl? As I look down upon her, Machina suddenly sniffles nosily. That's sniffles? That's a snort. What a weirdo. It's been a while since the last time I laughed at a woman's sleeping face. Even as I'm filled with the desire to keep watching discomfort at the peaceful atmosphere of this place, as well as also wells up within me. At the moment I sense someone watching me and look over to find that Machina's pillow cat has woken and is staring up at surprise at me. Staring up at me in surprise. Hello? Sorry to bother you. Go back to sleep. I leave them, taking care to avoid making noise, and sat down under a tree a little ways away. Phew. Wandering around as she pleases, then falling asleep in the nearest cool place when she gets tired. I see she certainly does remind you of a cat. I'm envious. T. That's not sarcasm or anything. I'm generally envious of Machina. I'm sure that she brings that little pocket of natural, peaceful space with her wherever she goes. I think that's something worth envying, and it's probably very precious to her as well. Which might well be why she doesn't want to step outside the sanctuary of a school when she can avoid it. Inside the sanctuary that would crumble in a moment without the protection of others. I wonder if the day will come when I can sleep in that utterly defenseless way. Turning around, the sound I noticed the fat white cat from before, peering from the direction of the thicket I just left. Rustling its way through the foliage on stubby legs, it stops suddenly when it spots me sitting under the shade of my tree. Glaring at me with sleepy, looking eyes, it lets out a single disgruntled meow. My bad. After getting suddenly woke in the middle of a pleasant nap is natural. If I were pulled out of bed on a Sunday morning by some pushy religious facilitators, I'm sure I would make a similar face. Although the fat cat doesn't seem to have accepted my apology, he sniffles roughly and lumbers away from this place. As I'm watching the cat dignified exit, the brushes start to rustle again. I've noticed this is the second time that we ended up with a pissed off cat in the game. I hear the sound of a dim-witted creature awakening and lazily stretching out its body. When I take a look, Machina is crouched on the ground on all fours, bending her back. She really is a cat in human form. Machina opens her mouth, holds down a yawn, and rows roughly at the tears slipping out of the corner of her eyes. After a restless look around the area, she draws herself up the ground. Not like I'm doing anything I need to be ashamed of, but before I realized it, I've hidden myself from her. After standing stock and still for a moment, Machina takes a bite from the apple in her hand and wanders off briskly. Where is she off to now? It doesn't look like she's got any particular destination in mind. Driven by an interest I find it difficult to pin down, I decide to quietly follow Machina. There's no regularity to Machina's action. Just when I think she's walking straight towards something, she'll come to a sudden stop, look around restlessly, and head off in a different direction. Doesn't seem like she's lost or anything, so I suppose she's just moving wherever her whims take her. Unfortunately, the randomness makes it pretty tough to tail her. It would be a serious problem if she noticed me, but wouldn't be a serious problem if she noticed me if I just called out to her now. I have a feeling she'll scamper off again. I skillfully hide my presence and continue shadowing her movements. Tailing a girl without her knowledge, objectively speaking, I guess this would be stalking. Just as I'm finally starting to get fed up with following Machina's directionless rambling, which resembles the random staggering of a sleepwalker more than anything else. The wandering monster in question comes to a sudden halt. Where did she get the bread? Didn't she have an apple? The resting place is an area on the outskirts of the school courtyard in front of an artificial cement pond of uncertain purpose. Machina totters her way up to the pond, thrusts her hand in the pocket of her skirt, and retrieves some half-eaten white bread. And starts tearing off chunks to throw into the water. Every time Machina's small hand hurls a bit of bread into the pond, a loud splashing sound resonates from the surface of the water. Apparently someone stocked it with fish and she's feeding them. I would not want to be those fish. Swim away. She's fattening them up to eat. Clawfish. Machina is looking around the area rapidly, grabs a short tree branch, lying nearby and then leans over the depths of the pond and begins poking into the water. Although I was puzzled there for a moment, it seems like she's trying to capture a crayfish she spotted in the pond. Or crawfish. This looks risky. Given her character, it's obvious she'll be taking a face-first dive into the pond very soon if I just sit here. I approach Machina from behind and call out to her, "Hey, watch out or you'll fall into the pond. In that pond." I guess I shouldn't have called her out of nowhere. Machina's hand slipped off the ground in a stereotypical slapstick prank-fall. Whoops. Swiftly reaching out to the floundering Machina, I firmly seized the collar of her school uniform and pulled her back to safety. Dangled by the nape of her neck like a kitten, Machina lets out a feline cry. "You're light. Are you even 40 kilos? There isn't any difference in weight from the backpack I'm always carrying. Given this weight size, I could lug her a good 25 kilometers in a single day." Oh, sorry. I wasn't planning to call you out, but it's better than letting you fall into the pond, isn't it? No need to thank me. I did the natural thing given the circumstances. Look at me shamelessly doing the life-saving hero number despite being in large part responsible for the problem in the first place. Might have the makings of an American politician. Like a specific American politician, one that's an idiot and about making walls. Machina gives a quick bow of thanks without another word, starts to run away from me yet again. Hold on, where do you think you're going? Don't give me you. Why are you running away from me? When she asked me point blank, it's not like I have any particular justification for detaining her here. That said, it's kind of unpleasant to avoid this blatantly. At the very least, if there's a reason she's doing this, I want to know about it. I think I asked this before, but are you scared of me? Is there a reason why you're avoiding me? How about telling me? If possible, I'll try to address it. Again with the silent treatment. Deciding to pursue the conversation more patiently, I squat down to match my line of sight with Machina's. Do you remember my name? That's right, Yuji's fine. Okay, then call me what you want. Oni. I have to say, being called her big brother is a bit embarrassing on my end, but, well, alright. When I turn around in response to the splashing sounds coming from the pond behind me, there's a number of fish gathered at the surface of the water, flapping their mouths in demand for more food. Seems they come to expect a handout when people stand near the pond. Machina, you still have breadcrumbs left, right? Breadcrumbs left? Machina thrusts her hand into the skirt pocket and rummages through its contents. As she talks, she pulls it out of her pocket one after the other. The items that emerge are mostly sweets like candy, chocolate, and chewing gum. Along with a erratic selection of tools like nail clippers, rubber bands, and glue sticks. Although I heard that women purses are connected to the fourth dimension, this girl's pocket seems to be connected to a garbage dump. Makina carelessly rains down the rubbish that emerged from the ground on the ground around her. One after the other. What is this? Pick up a plastic container shaped like a large film canister. There's a label pasted on the side filled with numbers and symbols of uncertain meaning. I'm not going to steal it or anything. Here, take it. Hold out the case to her. Makina snatches it back instantly. I'm not going to sneak bites of other people's food at my age. I'm not you, Makina. Almond is the exception. She's literally a glutton. Almond, huh? Didn't I just saying the first name that popped in my head, it really was her. Guess she's got a surprisingly gluttonous side. Good as her word, Makina shows some half-eaten bread under my face. No, I wasn't planning to eat it. I take the bread scraps from Makina, tear some small pieces, and throw them into the pond. The fish at the surface struggle like a pack of piranha for food, but the food measly gulping it all down. Nice appetite, huh? I thought these things were carp, but now that I get a closer look, they're actually goldfish. Festivals. From a goldfish snatching game, huh? These were original goldfish from a scooping game. There's almost certainly the tiny kind that's sold as live food for carnivorous fish in pet shops, but these things are huge. Fish certainly can keep growing as long as they're alive, so the more you can feed them, the bigger they'll get. What exactly have you been giving them, though? I get it. You know, fish don't really know they're full. They don't feel pain the way we do either, so they'll eat as much as you give them, even if their stomachs are bulging out. Number one cause of death among aquarium fish is indigestion from being overfed. That's what is said in something I read when I was a kid, at least. I think it was a magazine called Monthly Junior Science. They mentioned it in some article about raising fish in ozonated water. It had an article of all sorts of things, not just fish, animals, space, whatever. My older sister was a seriously dedicated reader. I picked up a magazine like that when she was finished, although half of it went over my head. As I'm recalling the content of the science magazine I read back then, I suddenly remember something. Hey Makina, you had some pickled squid in that pocket, didn't you? No, just take it out for now. Also, have anything we could use as a string? You'll see. Receiving the squid from Makina, I firmly tie it on the thread around it, and then knot the other to a tree branch I picked up at random. Exactly, so now we toss the squid dangled by the thread into the pond. Around the area where I threw the squid, I could see the shape of the crawfish Makina had been poking at earlier. When I jiggle the squid in front of its face, within a matter of seconds, the crawfish extends its pincers and firmly seizes the bait. There, hooked him. See that? It's a crawfish, not clawfish. You got the word wrong. As I dangle the captured crustacean in front of her eyes, Machina stares at it with an expression of immense curiosity. There must be a lot of edible aquatic plants or something in there. Crawfish turn red when they have abundant food. They turn blue. If you take a small newborn crawfish, you continuously give it food like potatoes, radishes, or sardines. They don't contain any carotene. It will turn blue in a month or so. I read it in a book when I was a kid and ended up trying it out myself. There was some that ended up with a lot of violet spots or white fickles, but I remember getting a few that turned deep blue as well. Okay, then try to catch one yourself. I pulled the catcher crawfish off the squid and returned to the pond and hand the fishing pole to Machina. Experience new things is always worthwhile, so you might as well start trying to catch one by yourself. One yourself. Ah. Don't fall into the pond, alright? Also try to get the smallest one you can. Taking the crude pole from me, Machina forcibly hurls the squid into the pond. I already told you, it's a crawfish, not a clawfish. Is that the issue here? I mean, I do remember pronouncing snail as smale back when I was in elementary school for a while, but after my sister pointed it out to me, I stopped making that mistake. Didn't you have someone to point out that sort of mistake for you? Your mom, for instance? That is sad, but true. I will never do Machina's storyline, so I will admit this. She will be willing to have Machina die by an operation just for her convenience of saying, oh, our company isn't corrupt because Machina's the only one that knows. That's fucked up. That's seriously fucked up. I see. There's no mother in the world who hates her child, was my mother's line, but by now I'm all too well aware that the world isn't that simple. Plus, there really are mothers who hate their children. And for those children, that can be a topic they want to chat about with some stranger. An awkward attempt at consolation would backfire here. Me? Seems like I haven't quite gotten the hang of being called Oni-chan yet. You serious? How am I nice? Where's the eye? Just wasn't interested enough to risk it. I stare steadily at Machina's small back silhouette against the pond. If you want to talk, I'll listen. And I gotta go to the next part here.